Hey guys, I'm back and we are playing Halo Infinite. Weekly challenge grind completed. Ultimate challenge unlocked. The new season, season 4, kicked off with this new ultimate challenge reward. So let's go ahead and see what needs to be done. And it's a chill one. It's a super chill one. Nothing to be worried about, honestly. Play the game tonight for the Highlit Steel armor coating. I believe this is the Mark VII armor coating. All you need to do is complete 5 games, 5 matches. Enjoy yourself, play whatever you want to do in PvP. And yeah, that's it. Simple, straightforward. Do well, don't do well. Completely up to you. To have yourself a good time and earn yourself your ultimate reward. I'm gonna play quick play. I tried infected. It was like super laggy, and just wasn't digging it. Like even if it wasn't laggy, I wasn't like super into it. I've never been a big fan of infected, to be truthful. I just wanted to see how this game it played out, and it was like 250 ping both times I tried it. So I wasn't super into it. I mean, like I said, even if it wasn't lagging, I probably wouldn't be super into it. So we'll just play quick play. I did play the new map. Like the very first game I played was on the new map. And that was a 150 ping connection, so it wasn't great a connection, but the map was pretty amazing. I actually really liked it. Like usually these jungle maps and all, I get a little worried about. You know, I'm like, man, is it going to play well? How is it going to play and all? But it actually was a lot of fun. The one game I played, at least on it. So I was actually into it. I was into it. My name is Nihal Ghosh. That's how you pronounce it. Nihal Ghosh. One American guy kind of like, the way he learned it was like yeehaw. Like he's like, yeehaw. So Nihal. So, somewhat similar, I guess. I was like, yeah, all right, whatever. He was a nice guy, though. He was a chill bloke, so I didn't really care. I didn't really get offended or anything. Quick play, the connections have been all over the place. I've been getting okay connections and bad connections. So quick play has been reasonably decent, like, well, inconsistent, but on par, I guess, for the game. But yeah, Infected was not a good experience, unfortunately. Visually very cool. Gameplay, yeah, it's Infected, so I was like, alright, whatever. Can't really like dog them on the mode. The mode is the mode. I didn't like the fact in Infected in this one. Like you have random like abilities or whatever. The random abilities that you spawn in with. And also the other thing I didn't like is not having a throwing weapon. Like some of the best COD infected games usually have like at least a throwing knife. So you can get people off certain, get a little range attack going. Slay. Yeah, this is the only stream for today, William. Only planned stream for today. Dude, where's the teammates, man? Fuck.
Another one down. They're close.
Yeah, I might leave this, man. Dude, fuck this game, dude. It's connection. Shit. Getting screwed over.
Down there. Spartan down. They're close.
Enemy halfway to victory.
Enemy there.
Dude. I can't fucking kill anything, dude. How did the ping just went up from 130 to 160? I don't understand this fucking game, dude.
Shields are down. Another to a sword fighter. Enemy is below us.
See, now it's 90, dude. I don't get it. What's causing the ping to bounce around like that?
Enemy shield.
Yard sale.
Power items up for grabs. Stick it to 'em.
Enemy team nearing victory. 5 minutes remaining.
Spartan down! Enemy Spartans are closing in!
Power items inbound.
Dude, I don't know what's up with the connection on this game, dude. I honestly don't, man. Like, it's bouncing around, man. Like, I don't get how that happens, dude. It went from, like, I don't know what it started with, but then went to 130 and then 160 and then dropped back down to, like, 96. How is it so unstable? I just don't get it. The connections in this game is gonna drive me away, if anything. If they don't fucking do something about just prioritizing like better connections, it's just gonna be the death of this game. No one's gonna wanna fucking sit through that shit every time. And oddly enough, I was looking at the connection through the weekly challenges that wasn't happening as consistently. Like the fluctuating pings, that wasn't happening. Like it would be like 250 and like 130 and stuff like that. That would happen. But the fluctuation when like it maybe happened. Stop, Wishwish. Stop being so needy. It's pathetic, my Wishwish.
Slay 'em all. No mercy. Ooh.
Gained the lead. Lost the
No.
lead.
Dude, are these all 3-for-3 bots? What the fuck?
Gained the lead. Double kill.
Translocator on the way. Let's grab grab that translocator.
Tango is closing in. Another one down.
Another one down.
You went right through him.
Halfway to victory.
Power items on the way. Power items available.
Keep up the sword work.
Enemy Spartans are closing.
Oh.
Have a sword.
Quantum translocator inbound. Let's grab that translocator.
Nearing victory.
Oh, it's out of fucking energy. No. I didn't look at the.
5 minutes remaining. Victory!
Oh, it's been going well, William. It's been going good. Chill. Chill day. Pish pish. Yeah, I'm on the Xbox today. Should I put a boost? I might as well. I have so many.
Strongholds.
What one do I use most? I usually use the PlayStation the most, but I'm actually thinking about switching to the Xbox more. Just because like the PlayStation, I need an extra wire while I'm streaming, like to connect to my controller. Whereas the Xbox, I don't need the wire. So just simply because it's a little more convenient wire-wise.
Your team scored.
We've got to keep it. The enemy has captured Charlie. Stronghold Alpha lost.
Dude, teammate. I was hoping for the trade at least, man. Fuck.
Stronghold Charlie lost. We've captured Bravo. Cinder shot inbound. Cinder shot available.
Cinder shot in sight.
The enemy has captured Alpha. Stronghold Bravo lost.
Enemy team scored.
Stronghold Alpha is ours. Lost.
Dude, why don't you pick up the fucking... I was trying to pick up the pistol, and then he didn't pick it up, and then I tried to back up to get it, and it disappeared.
Enemy team scored.
Captured Bravo.
Your team scored.
The game... what? I don't understand that. Like, how much space do I have on my hard drive? Is that what you're asking?
Stronghold Alpha is ours.
Way to victory.
The enemy has captured Charlie.
Enemy team scored. Your team scored.
We've captured Alpha. The enemy has captured Charlie. Cinder shot available. Stronghold Bravo lost.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have Game Pass though, so I have like access to like... I have a lot of them.
The enemy has captured Charlie.
Team scored.
The enemy has captured Bravo. The enemy has captured Alpha.
Your team scored.
The enemy has captured Bravo.
Enemy team scored. Your team scored.
I have a lot of storage. I've got a ton of storage. Like, too much. I've bought like expansion drives and stuff like that for the
Cinder shot available.
both of them.
Enemy has captured Alpha.
Nearing victory.
This zone belongs to us. Stronghold Charlie lost.
Victory.
For the Xbox, I've got 2 TB, 2 terabytes. Like the internal hard drive, and then I bought an extra bonus like expansion 1 TB hard drive. For the PlayStation, I think I've got like 2 terabytes internal, or 2 terabytes internal, and then another 2 terabytes external. I think that's how it is. I think. Maybe even more than that, I'm not totally sure. I think it's 2 internal. Like I've got the, well, less than 2 internal. It'll be like the base hard drive in the PlayStation, which is a little under like 1 TB. And then I think I put an expansion like 1 terabyte internal hard drive. And then I think I have a 2 TB external hard drive. I think that's how it is. I think. It might just be a 1 TB external. I don't even know. I'm not sure. I put all like my PlayStation 4. All the old games went on my like external hard drive, and then most of my game, like PS5 games, go on to like my internal hard drive, and then like maybe 1 game or something goes onto the PlayStation hard
One
drive,
flag.
something like that. Yeah, Warzone takes a lot, but I mean, like I said, I've got enough on my hard drives that it doesn't really bother me. I think I got more than I need.
Round 1.
Target spotted.
Nice.
In my sights. In my sights.
Yeah, 1 TB will last you long, dude. I don't know. It really depends on like, yeah, like how fast your internet is, really, dude. You don't mind like downloading games and all, like my internet's really fast. So if I need to delete something and then re-download it, it's not like a huge deal. I do think having a little extra never hurts.
Seconds remaining. Target spotted. 10 seconds. Round 1. Round 2.
We are crushing it.
No. Fuck, man. I shouldn't have pushed. Should have waited for teammates.
They're under us.
Fuck am I, man? Some of these spawns are a bit off, man.
Enemy flag returned.
They're under us.
What is it?
An ally took their flag. Shields are down. Confidence inbound. They're close.
'Enemy flag returned.
Another one down. Tango closing in.
30 seconds remaining. Ten seconds.
Dynamo grenades acquired.
Sudden death. Enemy flag returned. Round lost. Round 3.
Oh man, I hope we turn this around.
Hey.
Target spotted. 10 seconds. Round 1. Enemy team facing elimination.
This is almost over. Let them have it. An ally took their flag.
Flag capture. Victory.
Chill out, bish bash.
Capture the flag.
Enough, Vishwesh.
Great aim, Spartan.
What the fuck?
Our team took the enemy flag.
Dude,
The enemy carrier
am I
has
not
revealed
driving it properly?
themselves.
Oh, okay. I was not driving it properly.
Enemy flag returned. Flag returned.
I was trying to drive it. No bonus stream Slayer. I was trying to drive it like Modern Warfare. Controls.
An ally took their flag. We have eyes on the enemy flag carrier. The enemy carrier has revealed themselves.
flag returned.
Let's grab that translocator. Our team took the enemy flag.
In my sights.
Get moving. They're coming to murder you. They know where we are. We have eyes on the enemy flag carrier.
Enemy flag returned. Enemy
Dude, how did
captured
teammates
your
just
flag.
let that go down, dude?
S7 sniper in.
Oh, did we not have the flag?
S7 sniper available. That's one reliable weapon.
Enemy flag returned.
Target spotted.
Quantum translocator inbound. Our team took the enemy flag. Translocator on the field.
Enemy there.
Enemy flag carrier revealed.
In my sights.
The enemy carrier has revealed themselves. Run like the wind.
Enemy flag returned. Flag returned.
An ally took their flag. We have eyes on the enemy flag carrier.
These aren't trades, dude.
Enemy flag returned.
Dude, what the fuck? Did they just drive off the cliff or something?
Enemy flag carrier
Holy crap.
spotted.
I think they did.
Enemy captured your flag.
Power items on the way.
Double kill.
Our team took the enemy flag.
Killing spree. Double Flag returned.
They have our flag. Not good.
Enemy flag returned.
Enemy there.
Enemy flag carrier revealed.
Enemy flag returned. Enemy captured your flag. Defeat.
Play the game tonight. Ultimate challenge completed. Let's go ahead and check out the items. Which one? Where is it? There it is. Let's change it to the visor. Good. It looked good with the visor though, but slightly off. You know what? I kind of liked it. Well, let's go with. Well, that's actually too good too. Well, belt hole's always good. Yeah, it shows the armor coating better anyway, so it doesn't distract from. Highlit Steel armor coating unlocked. Let's go. Let's rotate it around and get a closer look. It's all right. Really scuffy, but still cool. I do like me my blue armor coatings. And then mix it up a little bit of the highlight yellow, highlight marker yellow. I'm pretty sure it's just for the Mark VII, but let's just take a peek and see if by chance they're giving it for everything. Yeah, it's just the Mark VII. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. And very chill challenge. Relaxing to just play the game. I wish there were better connections. Like the first game was pretty janky. I don't know what causes that too, man. I wish they would talk about that, man. Like what's going on? Like the fluctuations in ping is what concerns me. Because I feel like that's unnatural. Like to have it fluctuating in the extremes that it does, man. Like it fluctuates not just like 1 or 2 like ms ping or anything. We're talking about like anywhere from 30 to 50 ping bounces around from different like in different, so and that's a big difference on how it's playing, how the game's playing. So what is going on with that? I don't know. I don't know what goes with this, honestly. Blue, maybe? See how it looks with blue. Yeah, blue works out. Blue works out. As the visor. Looks better. I don't know if let's make him my main boy. Do a lot more rotate of him. Oh, it looks good in the loading menu. Yeah, super chill challenge. Play the game, enjoy yourself, and have fun, and you get it. Yeah. So just a couple of things I want to talk about. One, obviously, let's initial impressions of season 4. Infection, not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. Not necessarily not a fan of this version of Infection. Like, oh, I don't like Halo Infection. I just don't like Infection as a mode. Didn't like it in COD. Don't necessarily like it here. And it definitely did not help. The couple of games I played on Halo were like 250 ping. That obviously has soured the note even more so. Because I was getting like insta-dropped when I was like the zombie or whatever, the infected. And then it was taking so many bullets to kill the infected when I was like, and it was just blatant lag, right? And they don't give you that much ammo as it is. So I mean, I did have one game where I did okay, I guess. Like, the second game was okay. The first game, I couldn't even get a kill, honestly. Like I said, my preferred Infection games, when I even play it, which is very rare, usually has some ranged weapon, which is like normally a throwing knife, right, in COD. Not always, COD doesn't always do it, but a throwing knife, when COD does it, is usually appreciated in Infected. I do feel like some form of ranged attack would be useful. What else? The translocator, so the translocator, I think the enemy team on that last game was actually utilizing it pretty intelligently. I think they were like, there was a couple of times where they were like putting the translocation next to our flag and then warping there to like grab the flag and stuff like that. If that was what they were doing, it was smart. But in like regular Slayer, the outplay on the translocator, it's going to be a very rare thing to happen, in my opinion. Like, anytime I saw it like in quick play that wasn't capture the flag and all, like I saw it just like, you know, you see that little like warp zone area where they've marked. I just camp it. I just camp it, dude. It's like, why wouldn't you camp that spot, right? Like, you know they're gonna just spawn there and you can kill them. It'll be an easy kill for the most part. So I think just outplays and like even one time, one guy utilized it. He ran forward and he was expecting me to chase him, right? But I saw the warp thing, so I'm like, dude, this guy thinks I'm an idiot or something, dude. If I chase him, he'll just warp behind me and melee me, right? Why would I chase him? So I just waited, dude, and he like a dumbass must have thought I was chasing him and warped back, and I was just standing there waiting to kill him, dude. So maybe a little too obvious a spot, like the things for outplay moves and like Slayer and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, very limited outplay potential in very specific scenarios. And I don't know if like how, like I don't know. I don't know about it. Like it's almost like, dude, why, if you're gonna just show that, might as well let us interact with it and destroy it like a flare, like a respawn flare, or even just stand there, destroy it, and get a free kill for it, because that's how stupid it is, right? In certain modes. In other modes, obviously, like I said, that last game, if that team was using it to like get to the R flag faster, that was probably a smart move. I wanted to try it, like grab the flag and see if you could warp with it. I'll bet you can't. You probably couldn't do something like that. But still, like you could kind of like hide the like warp next to the team enemy flag, and then you make your normal play. And if they return it or something, you can kind of warp back and quickly grab it or something like that. There's potential for it. I saw the threat grenade or whatever, the threat sensor grenade thing. I saw that like lying on floor loot when I played zombies, but I couldn't pick it up. I don't know what was going on with it. But that actually, I was watching the live stream for the season 4 update, and like a lot of people have been criticizing the threat grenade as like kind of like a duplicate, a weaker version of the threat sensor. So what's the point and all that, right? But what the developers said about it actually gave me like second thought. I'm like, oh, there's actual value to this. So their explanation between the threat grenade versus the threat sensor is the threat sensor is more something that they're going to showcase, and like it's more for you to utilize in like a big team battle mode. Whereas the threat grenade is something more viable for arena matches, like the 4v4 modes. So I could actually see, like I've never seen the threat sensor in like the ranked mode or whatever, the like championship games, right? So I presume that's just a banned equipment or whatever. But I could see the threat grenade not being a banned equipment, right? Because it's such a limited use thing. It's not quite as OP as the threat sensor. So if that's the case, where you don't see the threat sensor on the small maps, but you only see the threat grenade, I would actually be like, yeah, that makes sense. The sad thing is, when I was playing Infected, the threat sensor was your like equipment if you were the regular player. It's like, dude, that's stupid. Like you just made the threat grenade for small maps. Why are you giving us threat sensors? It would make Infected also a little more dicey, because instead of like your entire team having threat sensors all over the thing so you can see the Infected coming to you, throwing the threat grenade is a little more limited use. So you have to be more cautious with it and more timed with it in the Infected mode. So I was a little disappointed to see the threat sensor as the equipment in Infected instead of the threat grenade. I think that would have been a good place to showcase the threat grenade's use in the arena maps. And like I said, don't even put the threat grenades in big team battle. Have the threat sensors all over the place on big team battle, like wherever you find it normally. And then the threat grenades can be the new thing for the arena maps. And that would be an interesting addition to it, I feel. Also the quantum thing or whatever, the warp thing, in Infected, it was probably the most worthless item in the Infected mode as an Infected player. Because like, dude, you're not warping anywhere of value, right? Like why? Like you're not gonna warp, like someone's gonna run past your warp thing and be like, oh, what's that? No. So I was thinking like might be a more cooler application to like make it a little more viable in certain modes for the outplay, is instead of like marking the spot where you mark it, like, oh, like I'll activate it here and this is where I'm going to warp back to exactly. What if you point to a location like in the distance or something and you mark that and then you can warp to that, right? So like for say an example in Infected, there were people camping like a top platform, right? I could mark above the top platform put the warp there and warp into them. And that would be insane, dude. That might in fact be a little too OP. But that would add value to the warp thing, whereas like I felt it often became valueless. So yeah, mode thing. The other thing is I did actually get to play the new map. The very first game in my weekly grind was the new map, and it was amazing. Like, it was actually amazing. Definitely a really worthy arena map, at least from the initial impression from that one game. I was like at 150 ping, like, so I wasn't necessarily doing particularly well, but the map and the kind of like routes and the like kind of the layout of the map, right? And how you would interact with it as a 4v4 team, right? Or like as a player, right? In a small arena was very interesting, and like I enjoyed it. I thought there was a lot of potential for like fun times, and looking forward to playing more of it. The other thing I feel like they sort of made a mistake with this season is they've sort of front loaded everything a little too heavily with the launch of this season. They've got the infection mode, they've got the new maps, they've got the new equipment, and I presume the new big team battle map is also like implemented into the new like playlist. I didn't play big team battle, so I don't know much about that. But went a little too heavy, I feel, for the launch of the season. Now I'm a little worried, like the future of the season. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of like events and stuff that should keep the game active. But what I might have preferred to see is like launch of the season, maybe just have a dedicated playlist for the new map, right? Then with the first event, introduce infection, right? And maybe have the event tied to infection or something like that, right? And then maybe have the equipment. I can see the equipment being like implemented immediately. That's obvious. That should be there. But maybe like the big team battle comes a little bit later also, and have its own playlist so you have time to like enjoy it and like experience it fully. And that way it has, even though it might irritate the community that not everything, there's not much to the new season and all, at least it staggers the stuff so it gives people a reason to come back to the game week after week. Whereas right now I'm a little worried because they like stacked it so heavily. Like, I've played Infected, I didn't like it. Guess what? I'm probably not going to play it anymore now. Had there been an event tied to it, I'd be forced to play it and I'd enjoy it and whatever. New map, I'm really digging it, but there's no new map playlist to play it like for the full day, right? So if they do add a dedicated playlist for the new map next week or something, I'm probably not going to play the new map playlist because it's like, dude, I already experienced the new map. I'm just going to keep playing the modes that I'm enjoying, and hopefully the new map comes into the mode once in a while so I can play it. So yeah, I just think like a little too heavy-handed with the launch of this season, and could have been doled out a little bit more just to... I know a lot of players don't like the idea of retention and stuff like that, but I guarantee those same people who be like, no, I don't know this, that, are going to get bored of the game quicker this season and be like, oh, there's not much to do. And then they'll like, be like, oh, there's nothing in this season, like 2 weeks down the line or something, right? So there's value to spreading out the content a little bit. As far as like monetization nonsense and stuff like that, I said this earlier, but I actually really like the Battle Pass. I think there's a lot of items in the Battle Pass that I'm digging. Not everything, but there's a lot of good stuff in there that I'm like, yeah, it's worthy. It's cool. I like it. Just a small heads up. I'm actually like, well, I'll talk about it later. But there's a lot of good stuff in there. Like I actually have an idea for, I'll say it now. I think I'm going to do a dedicated stream showcasing just this one item. Like this one, the death effect. I really wanted a good death effect in the Battle Pass last season, and I didn't get it. And seeing this one, I'm like, damn, I like that. I like that. It gives something to showcase also. Like, it's what you see, right, when you kill someone. So I see a lot of value in that. But even like these coatings and all, like the midnight one, this one, very cool, very cool. There's some pretty cool helmets also. Like, well, a lot of people hating on this helmet. I actually don't mind it. I like the helmet, man. I don't know why people hating on it so much, but I like it. But I mean, obviously the main big dog helmet would be not this one. What is this? Is it this one? Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one's the cooler, the best of the helmet nonsense. I think everyone appreciated that helmet. Yeah, this depth effect, I'm probably gonna do a stream just showcasing it, like just a short stream. But you know how like in COD I do like the Battle Pass blueprint streams. So I'm thinking of renaming it, instead of Battle Pass blueprints, it's like something like Battle Pass brilliance or something. And instead of like showcasing blueprints or some nonsense, I'm gonna try to showcase something that I appreciate from the Battle Pass. And it doesn't necessarily, usually it's probably gonna be the tier 100 item, like in most games, right? But in this game, I feel like this one has the most value for showcasing. This is also cool. Like, I actually like the weapon model stuff and all that also. Like, I mean, the sad thing is there's no weapon inspect in this game. So doing and also like, because you don't start with some of these weapons and all, it becomes very hard to showcase this stuff. That's why I just didn't bother with like previous seasons of Halo trying to showcase the Battle Pass or something like that. This is also cool stands, you know. Finally get a glove. But yeah, not bad stuff in the Battle Pass. I thought there was value to it, and yeah, not bad. What else is there in this season? I think that's the bulk of everything. I mean, obviously there's the shop items and stuff like that. I don't really care, man. I've talked about it. I think the best shop design is like been the way Battlefield's been handling their shop. And I think until like Halo gets to that level where you have individual items, bundle items, and if you're buying the individual items, you're getting a discount on the bundle items because you own it, is that, and all the other. The way they're handling it lessons need to be learned. So, season 4. This is a really, okay, this is going to come off cheeseball, but this is the second topic I want to talk about. I've been thinking about it, and this has more, for me personally, this has more to do with like Call of Duty, all right? But I was thinking about it, and this actually applies to more than just Call of Duty, like in a broader sense. It actually applies to Halo. It does apply to Battlefield also, and definitely Call of Duty, right? Okay, now what is going on with these games of late is these games have been going on now like for almost 20 years, if not more than that, right? Some of them, I think, around that timeline, right? So we have people like actual like community, like the community members that have been playing this game for probably longer, like they've been actively playing the game like as their main game, right? Not, like I said, for me it's mainly Call of Duty, not necessarily Halo, but there are people in the same line for Halo, right? They've been playing it longer than most of the developers in the game, right? Like I would wager anywhere from 90 to 95% of all the developers and all the like members in that studio for Halo, same with COD, with Battlefield, there are probably people who have been playing this these franchises much longer than the people in the development team, and have a significantly deeper understanding of the game than a lot of the members in that development team, right? And it's sort of a unique scenario because like there's never, like one, definitely this has never happened in the video game industry, right? Like the video game industry is just too new to be like that. But to have a specific franchise that has certain members, player members, that are more knowledgeable and have more time dedicated to that game than the actual developers of the game that are currently developing the current iterations of the game, right? Like I would wager for all three games, Halo, Battlefield, COD, there's probably not a single like developer member, like active like member, not upper management. I'm talking about middle and lower and developers and all the grunters and all those that level. There's probably not. I would even actually wager a lot of the upper management would fall under this category, where they've not been part of this franchise as long as some of these players have been. Like a lot of the original Halo team, obviously. Same with COD, obviously, because the original Infinity Ward, the original Bungie, right? And I would wager the same goes with Battlefield, right? The original team that created Battlefield, right? Those members are no longer part of the teams. So like it's been new teams growing and developing and all that, right? So, but the player base, there have been players that have been playing Halo since Halo 1. Same with Battlefield. Same with COD, right? That have been playing it since year one of the game's life, right? And still playing it. Or at least shortly after that. Like for me, it was COD 4. I played COD 2, but I got into COD 4, right? I played Halo 3, but I only got into Halo and Halo Infinite. But there are people who played Halo 2, Halo 1, and have been playing Halo all their life, dude. As their main game, not just something that they experience for a short time. It's like their main game, dude. Like I would wager I have probably I've got at least a year, if not multiple years, of actual game time in Call of Duty. I'm not even talking about like AFK time or like just like as I've been playing COD for like, I don't even know, since COD 4, right? So like, I don't know, is that 15 years or something like that? Or more than that or something? I don't even know how many years that's been, right? And like I said, I did play COD 2 a little bit. I didn't like it so much, so I didn't like go nuts with it. But COD 4, I've been playing daily. Like for years, dude, I've been playing this game, right? And there's people like that, right? So it's this unique freaking thing that's going on with these franchises that I feel like they're not tapping into. Because they don't even understand it. Because this has never happened with anything else, in my opinion. Right? I genuinely think like they need to start hiring people like us. Not to develop the game, like obviously ideally if the like programmers and all have a passion for the game, yeah, you want to be hiring them and all. But what I'm talking about is people like us who have been part of this system so long that we could help them, consult with them. There are members that could help them with their story lore, just keeping track of their story lore. There are community members significantly better at it than a lot of the developers are, in my opinion, or the like story crew are. The lore of the game, like the multiplayer lore, just like what weapons and how they did this and which ones were the OP ones and how it was broken and all. There are people way more knowledgeable than any of the developers. I think it'd be very wise of companies to start a whole like separate division for these game companies as full-time consultants, where they're hiring these like long-term members of their community full-time to help take their games to the future and keep it still grounded with its past, instead of constantly losing its like identity with its new games and just falling short with what they should be doing and focusing on and stuff like that. I mean, dude, honestly, this is a bit of a shout to like Microsoft itself, a shout like to what they're doing. Like it's nice that Microsoft are buying all these like companies, right? Like all these like developers and stuff like that, but are like, oh, do your own thing, right? And unfortunately, I don't think that's a very good business like thing. Yeah, letting the developers do their own thing for the most part is smart. But having a crew that is telling, like, at least supervising a little bit and seeing how things are going down and being able to turn around to Microsoft and be like, yo, it's not going well here. This is not a good idea. They're making a mess of this. And then making decisions based on like how the developers feel and all. Like, I'm not saying to like step in and be like, don't do this, don't do that. No, but at least if there were like long-term fans, like I said, that were hired as full-time consultants for Microsoft, right? At least things like, I think like Redfall and stuff like those things, or even Halo, could have been avoided. Things like this could have been avoided had they just had people like, that have been part of that community long term. Like, I've said this before, but like, I'm not, like, a dream job of mine would definitely be to consult full time for like Call of Duty, because I think I'd add a lot of value to that, right? But it's not just me. Like, it's not just me that is in this position where we've been playing this game so long that we have this understanding of the game that we know the developers just don't have. There are lots of people like that in all three of these franchises. And the interesting thing about this is, like, you don't need to just, like, if you have like a Halo consultant, right? That Halo consultant that's been a fanboy of Halo for years and been playing it and has that deeper understanding, he's not limited to just Halo, dude. Like, it would be wise of Microsoft to be hiring this consultancy position, like this fan consultancy position. Like, it'd be wise of them to hire certain Battlefield fans, right, to be part of that same crew, because they bring in a different perspective to these games, right? Even though EA is handling Battlefield and Halo has nothing to do with Battlefield, having that long-term fan from Battlefield being able to advise you a little bit, and just be there to like bounce off ideas and stuff like that, and just tell you like, oh yeah, this is what Battlefield did back then, really worked out well and all. These are such valuable aspects that I feel like games aren't tapping into, because like I said, it's never been like this before. This kind of concept of having dedicated fans for like decades for the same game, it's just not been done before, because it didn't exist like that. It didn't exist. I mean, sort of it did, but like, we're talking about games that have been coming out regularly, right? I mean, obviously, like, a very similar scene would be like Star Wars or something. Like, there's been fans for Star Wars for decades, dude. Same with like things like Lord of the Rings and all. Like, these things have happened, right? And usually, like, when like the TV shows and all start ignoring the like consultants that have the like knowledge of the history of it, it usually goes sideways, right? So I think game companies need to think about it. And the main reason I'm saying that is because, like I said, I would love to be part of that. Like, if that was like the case, and specifically, especially if Microsoft like acquires like Activision and Blizzard, man, I would love to work as a consultant, full-time consultant for Microsoft, but consulting mainly for Call of Duty. But I know I'd be very helpful in Halo also. Not necessarily the past of Halo, but like, other aspects of it, like I said, the storefronts and the challenge systems and this, that, and all. I'd be useful there too. And like I said, I know there are people like me. So even if I'm not the ideal candidate, which I come on, hire me. But even if I'm not, there are others that these game companies need to start doing something like this. Like, it needs to be like a specific division. And I'm talking about like these consultants, man. Like I said, they've got so much more experience than a lot of these developers and upper management and stuff like that. They need to be able to tell someone something and not just be like some grunt. Like it should be somewhat more respectable, like hearing from these like consultants that have had this experience. Just on a like small level, some of them, even short-term hiring for them, man, would be useful. Which comes to the final thing. I'm very excited for X-Defined to see where that goes. Because that's game sort of has done what I'm talking about. Sort of. And I think Halo, Battlefield, and Call of Duty need to heavily consider having some people like that for their franchises, to just keep an eye on their franchise development on a little more, you know, I don't know, like I said, people like us, like me, been dedicated to these games for so long. Me particularly, Call of Duty, other people for Halo, other people for Battlefield, right? And I know a lot of other people for Call of Duty too, right? Dude, we don't want to see these games fail. We don't want to, and we don't want to drag the game back to the past either. We want to see it move forward, but not lose touch with what made it special either. So yeah. Last bit is hire us, is my freaking thing, dude. Hire us, dude. That's what you should be considering. And your games would actually be like something special. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out my old streams if you haven't already. And tomorrow and day after and the next few days we'll be grinding out X-Defiant while the open beta is going on. Take care. Bye. Yeah, I always appreciate a challenge that allows us to play the game and just enjoy it and earn something special.